in the Mobility Center, we help people get stronger, more flexible, more balanced, more coordinated. We help them walk better. We help them do all the things they want to get back to doing in their lives. It's magic.
My name is Paul. I'm here at Cal Mobility Center. I started back in 2012. The reason I'm coming here because I had a stroke.
So what I'm going to have Paul do is we're going to actually go through some sequence of exercises that can be done on this machine, and we're going to go through the first wall, which is your functional exercises to actually even begin to get into your home. So Paul, the first thing that I'm going to have you do is this definitely looks like a New York home where you have lots of locks, and I definitely just want you to just go ahead and troubleshoot and cognitively think how you're going to open throughout this door. Okay? So without further instruction, go ahead. And I want you to use your involved hand. Awesome. So the next thing that we're going to do, Paul, is we are going to simulate you. So you were telling us earlier that you had some trouble with your daily activities, for example, showering. So what we did is we went ahead and we moved things into some proper locations as if this was the wall of your shower. So I want you to make sure that you're using proper body mechanics. So I want you to keep your back aligned as you push things up. If you needed to drain something, we can properly go down and clean up any hair that gets caught in the drain. I want you to work with your involved hand and try to turn the knob all the way to the cold side and all the way to the hot side. And I want you to just work on basic range of motion. If you ever feel in the shower that you're wobbly, there's always an assistive device that you can use as you reach up for it. And you can go through some basic range of motion if this was your shower head, which is if you want to clean your shower, you're going to have to use some shoulder flexion and extension. And just try to go through making sure you're cleaning your whole back and what you would need to do with both arms. Okay? So let's start with all the way to the cold side, all the way to the hot side. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and turn on the shower head. Great. And let's work on some right shoulder flexion. Perfect. And extension. You can bring it all the way down. Great. And let's go ahead and do that to the left arm. Hook it back onto the top of the shelf. And I want you to properly, like we talked about, come down and pick up the shower from. So what are we using proper body mechanics here? We're going to go ahead and bend at the hip, keep your back straight, and come down and pick up the hair and make sure that we come up rhythmically. Perfect. Great. Okay, so the next wall that we wanted to build and keep in mind with our clients is just basic household material that you have, or functional things that you have in your house. Like every home will have a window they can use to go ahead and bring the window up and down. Right now there's a lot of resistance as we just built the machine. Opening and closing drawers. So depending on what side stroke patients have had their occurrence on, one arm might be more difficult, so they can work on right and left arm. Why don't you go ahead and go through that sequence, Paul? The first one, the window, which is a little bit tricky, you're gonna have to use both arms, and it's gonna require some strain. Great. And if you can open the drawer with both, first your right and then your left arm. Tricky. We'll actually go ahead and follow us to the last wall that we have, which is our bedroom. So one of the main changes that we wanted to make to the mobile workstation is to properly align outlets and light switches where they would be in a natural home. So light switches are typically around chest level for most homes. So we put these here. We also included some outlets, some internet cables, and we even advanced technology by including a USB port, which a lot of homes are now including. This is actually the battery powered light switch, so that when we begin to turn on and off lights, it actually turns on. So some of the modifications that we're gonna continue to make is these lights are actually gonna get transported down here to the bottom so that when clients plug something in, these lights will give feedback to them. And these dials will actually turn on this light, and we're just waiting for some more electricity parts to come in to make that happen. And lastly, what we did is we wanted to incorporate something that could work their cognitive memory. So if I were to give Paul a sequence of numbers like 759 and tell him to remember it, then what we can do is we can go through a sequence of exercises, and at the end of that sequence, he's gonna have to remember the digits that I ask him to. Awesome. Let's not forget that phone cable that we have down there, or the phone jack. And we can put it back in. Great. And do you remember that sequence of digits that I told you to remember earlier?
Yes.
What is it?
759.
Perfect. Now we can go ahead and turn off that feedback system. And that's it.
As you can see, this new box is way better than the last one. They added a lot of like stuff on it, like mobility stuff they can use. For example, like hanging clothes hanger, different kind of locks. Most likely we see that at home. Sometimes we need to open the windows, so this is very good for practicing using two hands to open up and close it down. This single box included everything that I have at home.